White Castle is an American regional hamburger restaurant chain with over 300 locations across 13 states, with its greatest presence being in the Midwest and New York. Credited as the world's first fast food hamburger chain, White Castle is known for its small, square hamburgers, commonly referred to as sliders, even being named the most influential burger of all time by Time magazine. So of course, on today's episode of Pro Chef Reacts, we have to watch Guga Foods make it even better, and guess what? Binging with Babish recreates Harold and Kumar's epic order from White Castle while eating White Castle. Before I go on with today's episode, I do want to give a special shout out to my amazing new patron, Ninja Gamin' One. Thank you so much for your support. And with that said, on to the reaction.
What? Where's your pants?
I have no foot pants. I don't have time to put pants on.
Grab some sliders.
Oh my god, look at the size of these orange sodas. Oh, did you get, and you got the cheesy. Oh, yeah.
Look at me. I got my extra large cherry Coke. You've got your extra
Cherry
large.
Coke?
Yeah, cherry Coke.
Okay.
We've got our Crave Case. You guys see it here, the Crave Case? No, I like the cherry Coke.
Oh, it tastes like Pepto-Bismol.
No, it tasted like the cherry Coke.
Oh.
Okay, we are gonna mukbang White Castle as we react to people making White Castle.
Oh my god, how many are there?
30 sliders.
I think we can do it.
I think we can do it. Let's do it. We just got done with a sick workout at the gym, and we're putting that fat right back on, baby. Let's go for it.
I want 30 sliders, 5 French fries, and 4 large.
I
cherry
love those
Cokes.
too.
I want the same, except make mine Diet Cokes. Chuck.
Wow.
But they're high though, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole point of the movie, right?
No, they each got 30. We're splitting 30 between the two of us.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Binging with Babish, where this week we're taking a look at one of the most culinarily cathartic scenes in all of cinema. I'm speaking, of course, about the stony climax at the end of Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. I have here a frozen White Castle burger as a control group. It is mysteriously missing its signature single pickle chip, but it does have the characteristic 5 holes punched in the patty. Legend says that this is to save beef and money. White Castle says it's so the patties cook quicker and absorb more onion vapor.
Actually, I believe that.
I believe that. It will definitely cook
Because
faster.
the expense of the process of making the holes is not worth it.
Yeah. Oh, good point.
First things first, we gotta make ourselves some patties. I've got a bunch of ground beef here that I'm going to beat to a more paste-like consistency, so the burgers end up having a very tight texture.
Okay.
Overworking the meat purposely?
Yeah, and that's a very good point because, you know, their patties are these perfectly formed squares, right? Mm-hmm. Now, you and I, our consensus is don't beat the meat. But in this case, it makes a lot of sense, right?
And since burgers typically lose about 25% of their weight during cooking, I'm going for 1-ounce burgers. To form them, I'm going to coax about 8 ounces of ground beef into a rough rectangle betwixt 2 sheets of parchment paper. Then I'm going to attach 4mm guides to a dowel rolling pin and roll out the beef into a relatively even rectangle. Then it's time to score it into individual patties. Using the bottom half of one of my slider buns as a sort of template, I'm going to cut 6 evenly sized square.
Is that the first time we see his head?
No. People know what he looks like.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He's done a lot of interviews and stuff like that.
Well, I've never seen his bald head.
Just slightly larger than the bun itself to account for shrinkage. Then once all 6 patties are scored, it's time to punch out the telltale 5 holes. Using a metal straw, I'm pressing down and twisting until a little nubbin of beef comes out. There we go, 1 hole punched out, 149 more to go. Once all of your holes are punched, it's time to put this guy into the freezer to firm up while we continue making more patties. Because Harold and Kumar ordered 30 burgers each, so to be accurate, we gotta do the same. So prepare for a whole lot of sped up shots in this episode. It's during times like these that you can reflect about how you could have bopped out to Brooklyn for a few minutes, grabbed a Crave Case, and called it a day. But our dynamic duo went through a whole lot to get their burgers, so in that spirit, I will carry on. While we give our beef a solid couple hours to freeze solid, we need to chop up all of the onions, all of them. Just keep chopping until your largest bowl cannot support any more onions.
Oh man, fast food right now and onions are not getting along at the moment. At all. I'm pretty sure the onions that they use for these sliders are dried. and rehydrated. They're not fresh.
I'm using Martin's dinner rolls as my buns. They are a potato-based bun, which is inaccurate, but they're the only bun that I could find that was exactly the right size. Speaking of exactly the right size, we need to cut down 30 slices of American cheese, retrieve our beef from the freezer, peel off the parchment paper, and start snapping them up into individual patties.
By the way, we did Jollibee. We did a Jollibee mukbang. We did a Popeyes mukbang. I think you and I are thoroughly enjoying this the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like the Jollibee was good, but
This is the best one.
this is the best one. You guys want to keep seeing us do mukbang? I know some of you don't like it. This is Pro Chef Reacts. We're just going to continue to devolve.
Now, there's going to be a bunch of beef scraps here, which you can repurpose. Just
I've
don't
devolved. I
refreeze
haven't
it
even
if you
bothered
let it
putting
thaw at
pants
room
on.
temperature. Now that the patties are separated, it's finally time to head on over to the stovetop, where I need something a bit more dramatic than the usual burners and cast iron.
Nice.
Plus, let's adjust the camera here, give you a little
Hell
bit
yeah.
of a view of what's going on. And first things first, we need to lube up our hot griddle top with a bit of vegetable oil, and then we need to lay down a big old bed of onions.
These
because
fries, though.
unbeknownst
Suck.
Kind of whack.
I'm not touching it now.
Oh, have one.
No.
I want your opinion.
No.
Please. Eat it.
Eat it.
Eat it, you stupid cow.
Oh, no. They're cold.
White Castle burgers never actually touch the grill. Instead, the frozen patties are placed on top of a large bed of onions and cooked solely using onion vapors, which we are going to help along by giving our onions a healthy squirt of water, both to prevent them from browning too quickly and to produce as much steam as possible. I'm just going to sweat these onions for
Okay.
2 to 3 minutes.
I know that
At what point do you put the burgers on?
at every White Castle that I've been to, there's always this window.
Oh, it's starting.
I know it's starting for me too.
It's starting.
I don't think we've even done half. Every White Castle I've been to, they've always had a window looking at the griddle. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh, no? Well, I feel like they wait till it caramelizes a little bit. I could be wrong, but yeah. Let us know in the comments.
Until they're just turning translucent, maybe picking up a bit of color, and then it's burger time. I'm just gonna make sure that I laid down enough onions to support a burger pattern of 10 by 3. Looks like we're good to go, so down go the patties. We want them stacked right up next to each other, so the only place for steam to escape
Oh no,
is
you wouldn't want to put the burgers on when the onions are already caramelized, because then by the time the burger cooks, the onions are going to be burnt to shit.
That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Then once all the patties are laid down, we're going to hit them with just a little bit of kosher salt, not too much because American cheese is salty. Next up, something I think is going to freak everybody out a little bit, but this is what they do at White Castle. The bottom bun goes directly on the patties with the top bun over top. This is to both warm the buns and trap steam so the burgers cook more quickly. Once the onions have picked up some nice color and the burgers are sufficiently gray, we're going to invert them onto a wire rack set in a rimmed baking sheet. I'm going to do this in batches of 10 so the burgers don't cool down too quickly. I'm going to hit each burger with a slice of American cheese and a single dill pickled chip.
I don't think he even flipped the patties.
No?
I didn't see him flip the patties.
Really?
I mean, maybe it's thin enough it cooks through.
Which I'm then going to finish with the top bun, the steamy heat of which should hopefully melt the cheese all on its own. As you can see, the burgers have shrunk perfectly to fit the size of the bun. Each patty is beautifully laden with browned onions, and the buns are nice and warm and squishy. So now I'm just going to rinse and repeat with the remaining 20 patties, keeping the fully constructed patties in a low oven to keep them warm. And now it's time for the money shot. A cheesy, beefy palace erected in honor of one of my favorite comedies from when I was in high school. And there you have it, folks. That's what 30 sliders looks like. I'm just going to take a few off the top here so it's a little bit more structurally sound. Introduce 2 pounds of crinkle cut French fries into the situation. I think that's everything.
I mean, I'm done, and and they still look good.
Yeah, I'm full.
And the whole thing is like you can't really see the burger. You don't see the cooking process on the burger.
Is it really just one pickle?
Yeah.
Oh, there's like 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they like us more.
Maybe they like I like the pickle. See, there's like 3 pickles on there. Well, I opened this one up, so I guess I have to eat it.
Yep.
One more thing, we need Diet Coke and Cherry Coke to be truly accurate. And there we go, one full order from the penultimate chapter
Oh, really?
of Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. But how does it taste? Does it taste like the real thing?
And
Does
me and
it
my
taste
orange
better?
soda.
And I gotta say, the burger and onion flavors are on point. The only difference, nay, the only improvement comes from the use of a potato roll. Now, I have to admit this is a little bit too much for me to eat on my own. So I have a bunch of, let's say, inebriated friends in the other room who are gonna help me make sure that none of this course, goes to waste. But let's say you don't use appetite-enhancing substances and you want to make these burgers in a slightly more reasonable format. To do so, the procedure is very much the same. We're going to prepare the beef the same way, the onions as well, but we're going to cook everything on a cast iron pan. I got my buddy Jamie Wax here helping me out, and we made just enough burgers for the two of us. And last but not least, what about a Babish version? As you might imagine, this is going to start with us grinding our own beef.
Ooh.
The fat content of White Castle burgers is very high, so we're going to use chuck and short rib, bones cut out, silver skin trimmed off, and cut into 1-inch cubes that we're going to place on a parchment-lined baking sheet. We're then going to place this whole affair in the freezer for about 15 minutes, just until the edges and corners of the beef become very firm. Then we're going to place it into our brand spanking new food processor work bowl.
Good job.
Yeah. So far, not a single comment to add. Home run, Andrew Rea.
Along with a blade that we have also chilled in the freezer for about 15 minutes and pulse until we get a nice pebbly ground beef. Shouldn't take more than 30 seconds worth of pulses as long as your blade is nice and sharp. Then we're going to form the ground beef until
it's frozen, so okay.
So it can manage.
Okay, all right, yeah. So I mean, listen, I gave a little bit of a weird look because I was like, why isn't he using a meat grinder? But he pre-chilled the...
No, he froze it.
Yeah.
You have to freeze it.
Oh, no, I'm talking... He froze the meat, but he pre-chilled the attachment.
Oh, yeah, and the blade. And
yeah.
1-inch meatballs because I have every intention of making smash burgers. Over on the cooktop, I am sauteing the onions until they're nice and soft and they got a little bit of color, and then most importantly, I am toasting the buns, which is a way to instantly improve virtually any burger. Next up, I'm taking a page out of my man Alvin Kylon's book, and I'm making some cheddar cheese crisps by putting little piles of shredded cheddar down on the cooktop next to the meat, which before smashing, I'm going to season with kosher salt and freshly ground black pepper. And then, like the Hulk says, it's smashing time. That's what he says, right? We are using a dowel to press down hard on the patties and smearing away with the spatula to ensure patty integrity. Then I'm placing a dollop.
I was about to say clobbering time, but
it's clobbering time. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Which the
Hulk smash.
Fantastic Four movie's coming out with Pedro Pascal.
Let's hope it's good.
I hope it's good.
Of sauteed onions on each of the cheese crisps, followed by the nicely browned burger patties,
which
we're not going to flip because they're so thin that they're fully cooked. We're just going to stack them in stacks of 2 and slide them onto our slider rolls. So, are these little smash burgers better than White Castle? No, they're not better. They're just different.
They're different.
There's a lot more texture and crunch, and these are positively stuffed with sauteed onions. Plus, I didn't have to make 30 of them, which is always nice, but they're both members of the Clean Plate Club. Hey
Hell
folks,
yeah.
I'm very excited to announce that I have received my first advanced copy of my book.
This is an old video, by the way.
Binging with Babish.
Oh, look what's on the cover. It's Ratatouille. From the movie Ratatouille.
From the movie Ratatouille.
Yeah. You've made a few Ratatouilles here and there. Yeah. Frenchie, wasn't that awesome? I really enjoy Binging with Babish. This is an older video, but nonetheless, in all his videos, he uses legit technique to recreate all these epic meals from TV and movies. And he's a bit of a trendsetter. I can respect that. You know, he's doing something different, original, just like Holtzkern and this timepiece using natural materials, making each item completely unique. Holtzkern is a watch and jewelry brand for both men and women and the sponsor of today's video. What better time than now to gift your loved one something special from Holtzkern? I got my lady the comedian sunglasses made with leadwood and khaki dust, spiced it up with a little panoramic necklace with white pearl and silver, and completed the trifecta with an Excellencia watch made with rose gold. I've worked with Holtzkern many times. You've probably seen this very watch in multiple episodes of Pro Chef Reacts, and being that Holtzkern uses products like wood, even feather, leaves, and gemstone, it really makes everything they do special. And that's because their products are made in small quantities, which ensures every item meets a high standard of quality that will last you a very long time. They also offer free express shipping worldwide from Vienna. They cover customs, and guess what? If you place the order by December 19th, it's guaranteed to get to you by Christmas. Thank you to Holtzkern for sponsoring this video. Click the link in the description below or visit holtzkern.com/chefbt or use my code chefbt at checkout to save 15% on your holiday gifts site-wide for a limited time only. I actually want to eat more, but I'm so full.
I feel sick.
Yeah, I'm feeling
one more.
Feeling the bubbling. All right,
just even out the box.
Okay. If we're gonna, well, then that means there's 2 more.
Yeah, you could do 2.
Oh God. If we're gonna do more sliders, I guess we're gonna have to do one more video of a Guga! It's a Guga!
And this is what we're making today. These are White Castle sliders. And nowadays you can find it in any supermarket on your frozen section.
Did you get all cheese?
But if you are one of the lucky...
They didn't let you choose like half, yeah.
Unfortunately, they don't have it available in Florida. But as you can see, they have two versions, the hamburger one and the cheeseburger. Let me open it up and show you what they look like. Yes, these are 100% frozen, but if you take a look at inside, this is what it looks like. They have a thin patty of beef, which comes with their trademark of 5 holes. And obviously you can see there's a bunch of onions on top. And the instructions tell you to put them in the microwave for 60 seconds. Once I've done that, here are the White Castle sliders. It is incredible how a little thing like this is so popular. I guess if you grow up eating one of these, you totally understand.
That doesn't look good.
But this is one of those things that
you
see
it,
it...
they look kind of there's no if, ands, whats about it. And it's going to make you feel, oh, there's only one pickle in this.
But hey, they are extremely popular. And as I take a bite, it brings back so many memories. But here's the deal. This one is the plain version. Let's not forget about the cheese version. And as I open the box, this is what it looks like. Exactly what you expected. The same exact thing without any difference, but with an extremely small piece of cheese on it. Man, it is absolutely ridiculous the size of this cheese. I would say the cheese is a huge upgrade. Nice, soft bun, and I'm gonna show you my take on it. So let's do it.
Yeah, let's see this take.
And the first thing we're going to work on is the beef. And as you can see, it is quite interesting. And if you want to have the same experience, you cannot skip this step. To make these patties, we need ground beef. And here's a quick tip. Whenever you're freezing it, try to freeze it just like this. There are a few benefits. It takes less space on your freezer, it is easy to thaw, and most importantly, you will not have any freezer burn. And to make White Castle burgers, this is a big help, and here's why. I started by laying some parchment paper on the bottom. By the way, I am using 80-20. For me, that's a perfect ratio of beef and fat.
If it's gonna, because it's super ground. I mean, for the White Castle, it doesn't really matter.
Lay another parchment paper right on top. Using a roller, spread them out as much as possible. Because as you remember, and I just showed it to you, the patty is extremely thin. Once I was done, this is what they look like. I was aiming for a 1/4 of an inch thick. Because as you know, as meat cook, it will still shrink. Now the next step might seem ridiculous, but it's actually quite important. You must make them the same size as your bun, but keeping in mind that they will shrink in the cooking process. So it is important to make them 1/2 inch larger so that they will fit your buns. To cut them square, I'm going to be using my pizza cutter. But in case you don't have one, a cleaver will work just fine, or a large knife, or anything that you have. Because we already measured everything, all we have to do is follow the guides. Try to be as precise as you can. But if you make a mistake, it is not a big deal. We're not building a rocket here, we're building sliders. The next part might seem absolutely ridiculous, but it is crucial to make this work. And it's those holes that I showed you in the beginning. And the whole idea is that the steam will come up.
So he's forcing the hole, the other one punched it out.
Yeah.
Now I wonder what they do.
Yeah.
Because if they punch it out, is that wasted? Does it get recycled back into the ground? Is like, you see, that's why I feel like it's really for the cooking process, because it's such a waste of time, energy, and product if to do it, right?
And you know that they spent the money to R&D with the holes, without the holes, and they said, no, we definitely have to do it with the holes. And the holes are so important for the patties that are in the center of the cooking in particular, because the ones on the edge, they don't have other protein or onion insulating moisture. The whole point of the holes is to allow moisture to escape. They're saying they want the onion vapor to coat the meat. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense for consistent cooking of all the patties, since they're doing so many at one time. Wake up!
The only thing that you need is to have a lot of patience. As you can see, by the time I was done, this is what they look like. Now you want to put them on the tray because you have to freeze them. If you don't freeze them, this will not work. And make sure you put another parchment paper right on top. After 24 hours, I took them out and this is what they look like. As you can see, 100% frozen. Now all there's left to do is to break them apart. And the awesome thing about making them this way is that you can make a huge batch and have them whenever you're ready, because you must cook them from frozen. And I'll tell you one thing, they are extremely convenient. Now let's talk about buns. If you don't want to go the extra mile in making your own buns, this is
look how that it wasn't like
Hawaiian.
Yeah, they're all like that. They're always kind of
screwed up.
Yeah, screwed up.
Original buns. And let me tell you, they are awesome. awesome. But I know a lot of you don't have access to these. But if you want to make them nice and easy and quick, this is your best option. But to be honest with you, making them at home is even better. And I'm going to show you my take on it. And these are all the ingredients I'm going to be using. Remember, exact amount, always in the description down below for you. We got all-purpose flour, butter, pineapple juice, sugar, milk, eggs, salt.
I did not notice. Did you?
Nope.
Why are my eggs so small?
Yeah, he's using quail eggs.
Using quail eggs. And the only reason is because of quarantine.
He made this video during
during quarantine. So the first thing to do is to mix
quarantine.
all your dry ingredients. With your flour, throw in some sugar and the yeast. Mix it well and make sure everything is nicely combined. Then you want to combine all of the wet ingredients, starting with the milk and pineapple juice, followed by all of the eggs. Now, if you have a mixer, this will make your job a lot easier.
Let us know in the comments, is pineapple juice a regular part of King's Hawaiian bread? I know it may, I mean, it makes sense. Hawaii.
Oh, I know that mixer.
Yes, you do.
But I'll tell you right now, this recipe is a big
We
one
miss you,
because it's
Guga.
not worth
Yeah.
it.
We want to go back to Miami.
He doesn't seem to miss us.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to miss us. He don't miss us. He copied Frenchie's buttered chicken.
I already forgot.
Oh, you already forgot?
God damn it.
Oh, watch the podcast. We reacted to Guga's video where he rips off Frenchie. We say that with love.
Making just 2 or 3. I like to make a big batch. And you're gonna see what happened to my mixer here. And the worst part is that it's not even mine, it's my wife's. So yes, if you think I got in trouble, I did. So since the mixer was broken, I had to do it the old-fashioned way. You just gotta put in the work. The next step is
broke
to
the
oil
orange
the
mixer?
bowl
Yeah.
so you can throw in your dough as it needs to rise for 2 hours. And as you can see, after 2 hours, it is huge.
Look at those hands.
That's a sign that you
That's,
did it.
that's when Guga was still fat.
You said it.
Now you want to punch it down and make sure you take it out of the bowl so that you can start making your rolls. Make sure to oil the pan that you're going to be baking with. If not,
Does the
everything's gonna
pineapple
get
juice
stuck.
help the
Now all there's left to
fermentation?
do-
Is that your yeast?
No. The yeast is the yeast.
I mean, yeah, but is it like the helping factor?
I don't know. It's
Because
definitely
you know
going to
how
add
how you
sweetness.
can use pineapple to tenderize
Yeah.
and you can eat away at stuff.
Are you saying, like, is it one of the reasons why the dough is, the bread is, King's Hawaiian is so soft?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the acidity has an effect on the proteins
Can
of
we
the
look
flour.
up if King's Hawaiians has pineapple juice in
No,
it?
like,
Why?
we keep watching. But let us know in the comments below.
If
Why
you
are
want
we
them to
here?
be the same exact size, I definitely recommend a scale. And you're shooting for a
Balls.
weight of
The
60
balls.
grams each.
You guys see what I did there? I said some kind of sexual innuendo, and Frenchie already forgot that I said no to researching something he wanted.
The next step is extremely crucial. You can either leave them at room temperature to rise for 2 hours or let them rise overnight on your refrigerator. And the very next day, I took them out, removed the plastic, and this is what they look like. As you can see, they are ready to become White Castle sliders. To make sure they have a nice golden brown color, you want to do an egg wash. And this is pretty straightforward. A little bit of milk, egg, and honey. Make sure you brush them good and get every single edge. And the next step is where I made a huge mistake.
Milk,
I usually
egg,
make
and
these in
honey.
my Dutch
Yeah, it's a
oven,
nice
but
touch.
unfortunately my sister-in-law had it.
Damn.
It's a good touch, man. Guga really puts in the effort. Not like us. We just react to their effort.
So I had to MacGyver this thing. And here's where I made a huge mistake. I threw in some aluminum foil right on top. Because you don't want to bake them uncovered because they will burn. So after throwing them in the oven at 350
it's gonna
degrees
stick.
Fahrenheit for 45 minutes, I took them out and this is
Oh,
what
he was using a
happened.
toaster
Yes,
oven.
they rose too high and got completely stuck on that aluminum foil. At this
Yeah, I
point,
told
I
ya.
was like,
Yeah.
man, I should just make another batch. But I said, you know
Yeah.
what? I must show you guys that everybody makes mistake. No one is perfect all the time. But however, if you think I'm going to throw these away, you're absolutely out of your mind.
No, you know what actually happened, guys? You see, Guga curses a lot more in person. So he opened the oven, he started taking off the foil, and he went,
Yeah. We're not wasting this time.
yeah, he's like, we're still gonna use this.
So to finish them up, I threw in a little bit of extra egg wash and threw them back in for an additional 10 minutes. That will give me a nice golden brown on top.
That's gonna
because
fix
they
them
are
up.
already
Yeah.
fully cooked. Now the last thing to do is to melt the good old butter right on top.
But in a toaster oven, always be mindful to turn things around because the temperatures are so uneven.
Right, but also a toaster oven's so small, the air doesn't circulate as much, so you get a lot more hot spots. So even if you set this for, if you bake something
I said this already. Move on.
you bake something in a 350 degree toaster oven versus a full-sized oven, you'll have dramatically different results because the full-size oven has a lot more space for the air to circulate. Okay, sir? Sir?
Okay.
Okay.
Because even though they are not the best looking buns I've ever made, I'll tell you one thing, they are the best tasting ones.
More.
Because if there's one thing that I would love for you guys to try from this video,
I love how
these
he's using it like
they
chapstick.
Are just phenomenal. Now,
Is
let's
that
talk
your
about
chapstick?
Onions.
I love
If you
this.
think White Castle use fresh onions, no, they don't. Believe it or not, this is what they use: dehydrated onions.
I'm
And
just
here's
gonna
the
start
reason
using
they
butter
use
as
this one.
chapstick.
It packs a lot of flavor, but most importantly, it has a very long shelf life. This allows the restaurants to have a bunch of them in stock. But the first thing that they need to do is to rehydrate them. And for that, it's pretty straightforward. Just throw them in the bowl with a little bit of water.
Yep.
Mix them well because they're gonna soak it all up. And of course, the last ingredient we're gonna be using is cheese. And you know the good old American cheese is the one to be used. But now that we have everything ready,
Dude, now my stomach is not feeling
I
good.
know, me too.
It's no good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
all there's left to do is to cook them. And for that, White Castle uses a very unique technique, which I am gonna show to you how right now. So I say enough talking and let's make some
people
White
really
Castle
hate on
sliders.
us
So
every
let's do
single
it.
time we say American cheese is the best cheese for burgers.
I don't give a
And
fuck.
then everybody says that's not even cheese.
huh?
In Europe, we call it cheese product. What do you have to say to that, Frenchie?
America! Fuck you!
I do it. Oh, there's our Guga.
His version so far is the closest to a better version of the White Castle.
Yeah. Andrew Rea's was pretty good too.
It was good, but
yeah.
it's not.
He didn't make his own bread. He didn't make
Yeah.
his own King's Hawaiian bun.
Yeah, and he didn't make-
fucking chapstick shit out of it with butter.
But I would eat his too.
Oh yeah. I mean, oh my god, we ate the real ones. And, I think the bar has been set pretty low.
True that.
I have no regrets.
No regrets.
I don't know. I think we're gonna end up texting.
What's that movie? You got no regrets and it's misspelled.
Oh, no regrets. No
regrets.
regrets. No regrets.
No regrets.
Yeah, I think he's only cooking on one side too.
Yeah, but you see how the blood is seeping into the bun?
Yeah, but I mean that was happening to these too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I don't feel good.
I don't feel
I
good.
don't feel good right now. I
don't feel
feel
good.
really bad. I'm starting to have regrets.
I'm definitely having regrets.
All right, everybody, here we have our sliders. What do you think, Angel?
Oh,
They tiny.
that looked
tiny,
good.
They're tiny.
I know we're used to smash burgers, but I'll tell you one thing. I mean, everybody in the world probably had a little White Castle, right? This is like White Castle, Angel.
Yeah, you put this in the microwave for 1 minute and that's it. You're good, right?
That's it. You're good to go.
I
It's
just
as
want to
easy
say,
as it gets.
when we first started this, we're like, yeah, I think we're totally gonna kill this. No, there's still 2, 6, 8, 10.
We only ate
We ate 2/3 of it, and you and I are big boys.
pussy.
But I'll tell you
Also-
one thing, making the buns at home is different because as soon as I made it, this guy attacked half of them. He's like, oh, I want some of that. They are so wonderful, everybody. If you never made it at home, do it. Just the smell it. Like the bread smell is so wonderful. You know what I mean? It comes
I
through.
wonder what it tastes like.
You ready?
Go.
It can only taste better, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Pretty damn good.
100%. Just the bread is gonna be 1,000 times better.
Dude.
White Castle is good.
Oh, is
That's what
it?
it tastes like, yeah.
But homemade is so much better though.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
It's the bread. The bread is everything. I'm telling you guys. It's so easy to make though.
But it's like,
Karen,
I guess, right?
what was the word yesterday you were making fun of me? I couldn't pronounce.
Preemptively.
Oh yeah, what was I saying?
I don't know.
Preemptive is the word, but I was saying it preemptive, right? Is that?
I don't know what
I don't know what the I was saying, but
It was just wrong.
I was pronouncing it wrong for 4 decades.
Blondie says I don't know how to pronounce mirror. Mirror. She makes fun of me. Mirror? She goes mirror? Mirror.
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 It sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it sounds right. Mirror? Mirror? Is that what you were saying before?
Oof. I'm telling you, that will be 10 times better. However,
I guess we gotta make that happen.
exactly. The secret of this White Castle is the buns.
That's what she said.
That's what she... That was a good one.
That was a good one.
That was a good
I
one.
learned from the best. Huh? Well, that was fun, wasn't it?
It was very good.
All right. I'm glad I got to give you a fun episode. On next week's episode, we are going to, you know how we were reacting to the carbonara video?
Yeah.
You liking that? You enjoyed it so much that I decided we're going to do another classic dish. We're going to do beef bourguignon. Yes.
That's my lane.
Yes, your lane. And Alex the French guy's grandmother's recipe.
No.
Yes.
I love his.
Yes, we love Alex the French guy.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's very
I
good.
like this.
Oh, I'm excited.
Well, guys, hope you enjoyed this video as much as we did making it. Remember, don't eat a Crave Case. Don't eat the Crave Case. Thank you to Holtzgern for sponsoring this video. Click the link in the description below or visit holtzgern.com/chefbt or use my code chefbt at checkout to save 15% on your holiday gifts site-wide for a limited time only. Before we close out this episode, I do want to say to all of my amazing patrons, thank you so much for your support. I really couldn't do this without your help. And for the rest of you, please consider becoming a patron by visiting the link in the description below. By becoming a patron, you get to take advantage of some awesome perks like early access to new episodes and patron exclusive content. Yes. With that said, I'm Chef Brian Tsao, not your typical chef.
Finish your plate.
And we'll see you really soon. Say bye to the wide cam.